One of the reasons that we're involved in this press conference today is that Lifton and the Ontario Coalition for Social Justice are members of Dignity International, which is an international grassroots network of organizations spread across all the continents. And I'm happy to say that all the organizations that are members of Dignity International are active today, celebrating the anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The other reason is, having had communications with the organizers of the Elders Council, they gave a blessing for us to challenge political leaders in North America and acknowledge the extreme importance of political leaders in North America finally adopting these important human rights principles which have been so long ignored. We feel that our world is in crisis, North America is in crisis, and all of this contributes very much to poverty in Ontario. We can't look at poverty in Ontario in isolation. And when we talk about poverty reduction strategies, I think while the provincial government's done a good job at beginning the process, there were a number of shortfalls in that strategy. In particular, the fact that they did not increase welfare rates and left so many thousands of people, up to about 1 million people, unable to meet their basic needs. This is a really important issue, and it's something that United Nations committees have already pointed to several times, saying that our rates are insufficient to meet the basic needs of life. The same goes for the minimum wage, although that is slowly improving. I do feel that after 15 years of everything going backwards and people losing the ability to support themselves, it's a little sad that that was overlooked yet again. On the other hand, there are important features in the poverty reduction strategy, like enforcing employment standards, getting communities involved, supporting communities' involvement in building forward, that I think are very important. I would, however, hope that Dalton McGuinty and other political leaders in the province of Ontario and in the federal government begin to take universal human rights, and particularly economic, social, and cultural rights, into account as they work to address poverty. Another thing that's very, very important in our view to addressing poverty is looking at the North American Free Trade Agreement. We have heard President-elect Barack Obama say that he's interested in reviewing or reopening NAFTA. Now, the United Nations and ourselves and many other people across North America have recognized for quite a while now that NAFTA has undermined in many ways our ability to make effective social policy and to ensure decent jobs. Of course, many of our jobs have been going offshore. Now, I would argue, and many would argue, that if our governments were accountable to the human rights commitments they have made, this would not be occurring the way it is. If our governments were accountable to human rights commitments, we would probably see a great deal more investment in communities, in good jobs, in young people being able to achieve their higher education without going into lifelong debt. We'd see more investment in single mothers raising their children, in education systems covering human rights education, and other things that we would really like to see if we had that kind of accountability. Unfortunately, we do not. So I guess today we felt very strongly that it was a good opportunity to challenge our political leaders and people in the community to take human rights seriously and begin to apply them as we talk about poverty reduction strategies, renegotiating NAFTA, and other important issues. I would even include the Security and Prosperity Partnership in that mix, which is something that a lot of people don't know about but need to look into. It has a lot of serious impacts on our human rights, and yet it is not out there for public debate. People need to take a closer look. It has a huge effect on us. So today, we're encouraging everyone to take on the challenge of going to the website at Every Human Has Rights, read the Universal Declaration, make a personal pledge to uphold and respect human rights in their daily life and in their community. At the same time, we would like people in the general public to take the time to talk to their political leaders, their elected representatives, and ask them, will you make a pledge and will you begin to take these rights seriously as we move forward? Obviously, we're in a time of economic crisis and climate change, and it's extremely important that we have some kind of framework that allows communities in different levels of government and between countries to move forward together into something more innovative, more forward-looking, and more respectful of all levels of society. As it is, we're a very divided society. I do not see how we can stand united as a society until we all respect and understand the importance of human rights.